Hi, I'm Arash Alibabai, and this is my fourth lesson on CATIA V5 Sketcher. And this is about Sketcher. And in previous lessons, we talked about profile command and also constraint commands. We are going to talk about other commands in Sketcher environment, and we hope to finish this as soon as we can get to other sections of CATIA, but we have to um, go through this completely so you can be familiar with each commands. Uh, if you find it really overwhelming or confusing, you can uh, make it slow, or if you have any question, you can come back to this video and you can see answer to all your questions in every aspects of Sketch. So if you're a new listener or a viewer in our videos, please watch our previous videos on this. This is the fourth part of this. And if you like this our contents, please like or make a comment so we can know your views. And I really appreciate it, that. It will be cheer me up. Yeah. So we talk about profile and we talk about the constraint, which is really important for us here. We now want to talk about other features like rectangles here. So, the first thing first, whenever one of these commands here have dark rectangles or black triangles, black triangles right next to them, it means that it have a submenu. And if you click not right into it, but if you click on this triangle, you can see that we have many kind of rectangles and elongated hole, you mean slots, and these keyholes provide. These are all submenus of that, and I can make it like this, floating here. So beneath this command, we have these 9 commands, which are different with each other in every aspect. So the first one is simple rectangle. If we choose that, we must specify 2 points. We can do this um, exactly and accurately by choosing the points here. Like I wanted the first point to be 0, tab, 0, enter, and my second point to be 100 and 150. This is my rectangle, simple rectangle. I can let me say that once and for all. If we want to select this, if I select this, I can have one line of it. If I select it this way, I can select it all. And if I click delete, I can delete every shape I make here. So I said delete. If I select this and I not specify any points here, I only draw it like this. I have a rectangle, but it is not fully defined. So the first thing first, we have 2 horizontal line and 2 vertical line in this manner, in this command, but we have to put dimensions to constrain this. So I want this to be 150 and this one 100. And I want this line to have distance from this axis like 50. And from this line to this axis, I want it to be, I don't know, maybe 100. So that is fully defined for me. Yeah. Another command, which is right after that, is oriented rectangle, which is same as that, but with a little orientation. This rectangle has no H and V's. H means horizontals and V means vertical. So at first it is like a line. You draw one and draw second, and after that it comes with a rectangle, oriented like rectangle. The main feature about that is each two line is parallel together, and each two line near each other is perpendicular to each other. So technically, I have a rectangle which I can define it by making dimensions to it, maybe 150 and 100. But if I make a location for that, 100, and maybe 400, it is oriented and I can rotate it. And also I can make an angle for that, maybe 30 degrees for this rectangle. If you notice that we have a tree here, which is something like a history to our design. So if we want to see something, we can easily go to this history, and all the geometries we have is right here. This like a point right here, a line right here. Everything is here, and every constraint we make is here. We can choose it. We can make it different. We can make a formula to link them together. That is like this. Another command is parallelogram. It's similar to this one, but we don't have this perpendicular. Uh, the process is really easy. You just select it, select the first one, second one, and for the third one, is not like the other one that we have only rectangle, but we can have parallelogram in this manner. If you see that it may cause you some constraint here, if you hold shift, you won't see any disturbance here. So I want this like this, and I want this degree to be 45. I have a parallelogram here, and I have its location like here, and this like here. Another thing remains to be constrained is that we didn't make any dimensions for this two, 200, 150 and 100, and also we do not mention anything about the orientation of it. So that's cool. Another two rectangle at the back end of it is centered base rectangle and centered base parallelogram. It's really similar to this one and this one, with the fact that it has constraint to its center. So we select them, and from the center, we broaden our rectangle. We can choose high or width here, high like 150 and 200. But you must notice that we have our center to be constrained, like I want the center to be 300 and 300 to center of that one. And another one is like this for parallelogram. So it's not working for me, not from now. So let's go to another one, elongated hole. This is similar to a rectangle, but with round ends. Some call them slots, some call them elongated hole. It's really useful when you design something and if you want to make adjustable holes, so you can fasten it in some adjustable manners. There is some dimensions. At first, the system gave you this dimension. You can change it easily. Maybe I can change it to 10, and I made another dimension for this one. And it needs another location constraint too. So that said, this center line of it is aligned with this line too. I have another one here. It is a ligand hole, but it is like cylindrical. This is like drawing a circle and say that I want this circle to be like elongated hole, like this one. And you can easily fully constrain that also. Let me see what happens to this. So I make it fully constrained. I do not really care about this dimension. I can make it round or I can leave it like whatever they are. And another thing I can do is assign some angles for that. Another thing to mention that if I draw some axes like this, using that is not going to count as a shape, and this won't be count. I will talk about it for you later. But now, in order to make an angle for this, I have to use that. Let me see what we are missing now. We are missing this one, and we can easily constrain that this way. So we're finished with that too. Another one is a keyhole feature, which is not really popular and not very really useful. This is like keyhole feature, which I don't know why it is a feature. You can constrain it, and really trust me, it is not worth learning it. It's just an annoying and unuseful feature. Maybe in countries they're working with locks and keys, maybe they find it useful, but not in many cases. Another wonderful feature we have is hexagon. And there is a big shame why we don't have pentagon or multigons and we can only choose hexagons. But this is a wonderful, wonderful command. If you click shift and if you put it somewhere, you have this triangle, this hexagon, and it is all in your hand. If you select the center point and click right and fix that so it is not located differently, the firstly you can choose where to rotate it, and if you want this to be horizontal you can choose that here, without using any constraint. And also, you can choose it to be internally dimensioned or externally from this 2 point dimension. And this two is very different to each other. But I think this is a really good feature which exists in CATIA in this version. I hope that you find this lesson useful, and if you enjoy it, please leave a like or comment for us so we can know that our lesson was helpful for you. Thank you for your attention.